Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, welcome. Today I am showing you how to give this mid-century modern piece, Gibbard piece in fact, a makeover. So here's the message from my cousin. She asked me if I would take this dresser. I gladly said yes. And I noticed the bottom two drawers were sticking, so I sanded down the bottom trim, and I also hammered in one of the joints that were sticking out on the sides because that was catching the drawer. So when you pull the drawers out and they're sticking or have an issue, you can always see by taking them out what the problem is. Usually sanding them down a little bit can really help. So I vacuumed the piece like I always do. I vacuum all of my furniture pieces that come in because you never know what's in the back, and there were a lot of dust bunnies, so that definitely needed doing. So I also have, this is the shop vac that actually I attached to my sander. So then I wanted my vision design was to have the end drawers raw wood, but this is mahogany veneer, which is a red color, and I didn't want that. So I knew and I could see that there was some lighter wood underneath. So what I did is took off the top layer of the veneer with my Wagner heat gun and my utility knife, which has a putty knife on the end of it. So some pieces came off quite easy, some came off in really large pieces, and I'll show you that as well. So just make sure that you're wearing safety glasses so nothing pops into your face, and don't touch the end of the heat gun. It is quite hot. So just heat up the veneer and peel. My phone keeps going out of focus, but whatever. I'm sure you can see it. All right, so put that safely aside. And then how satisfying is this? So here are two heat guns. This is the Furno 500 Wagner heat gun at Home Depot, which is $57 Canadian, and this is the one I have that is $43.97. So you can get those at Home Depot and they're not too expensive. So now it was time to sand down all of the glue. You can see that glue on top there. I was using 80 grit sandpaper on my sander, and I just needed to remove all of that, and you can start to see that really beautiful light wood grain that I definitely wanted. So I went through the veneer just a little bit, which is fine. I used LePage wood filler in the natural, which matched this wood grain perfectly. This is the one that I used, and they have lots of different tones for different grains. So that was perfect to use. Okay, so what I'm doing here is I've sanded the drawers down like here, and I also sanded the trims because I wanted, I just want that look throughout the piece and on the trim, which I don't normally do. But what I'm gonna do is wrap each drawer. Not sure how I'm going to do these ones yet because they're attached to the long middle one, but what I'm going to do is just I'll figure it out when I get to it, but just wrapping these up right now with just my blue painter's tape and some green tape, so that I don't get any paint on the wood. What? Okay, I've changed my mind. I realized that when the drawer closes, it hits the trim. So it covers, like you can see here, it covers here, but I want this trim painted. So I'm gonna take the drawers out and I'm going to paint with the drawers out, which I don't normally do, but I do when the drawer hits the trim and hides it, because that's gotta be painted. Right, so instead of using the painter's plastic, I'm using green tape just to cover up these side drawers because they're attached to this, whereas those ones are separate. So I'm going to leave those out because I noticed that I won't be able to get in there into the trim to paint. So I've wrapped these up, but because I have to paint this one, not these, what I'm doing is just wrapping the tape and the plastic around the edge, and I'm going to leave the drawer out just a little bit. And then just paint this side of the trim. So once I had scuff sanded the entire piece, and got everything taped up. I used my Crud Cutter spray to clean everything, and it really did need a clean. A lot came off and the rag was super dirty, and I love the Crud Cutter for that. You can use soap and water, but I find the Crud Cutter gets off any spills and just deep dirt. So once everything was ready, it was time to spray the primer. And this is Zinzer bin 123. And I used my Wagner sprayer to spray this on. So I am really pleased already how this piece has turned out, and I cannot wait to get all the primer on and the paint. So I do add a little bit of water to my primer, and I do add that into another video actually where I talk about my paint sprayer. Okay, so there was a lot of bleed through, a lot. So what I did is I grabbed my Kiltz spray can and I sprayed it. But as I was spraying, as you can see here, it is spitting. I was so upset because I have had this done several times now when I've bought a can and sprayed it. So what I did is I just kept spraying, thinking that it would just work out for me and it would spray out in a nice flow, but it just kept doing this spitting. But it was my only can left, and I wasn't able to go out and get more at the time, so I just sanded it down really, really smooth so that you wouldn't see those marks, and then I went over it with Zinzer bin 123 again, and then sanded again to make it really smooth, and it turned out really well actually. So I wanted to keep the original hardware. I think it matched this piece perfectly, and they were super heavy. I don't know if it was metal or very high quality brass. I'm not really sure, but they were very heavy and I wanted to keep them, so I sprayed them with Rustoleum spray. Make sure to be wearing this when you're spraying hardware. It came to my attention that I really should be wearing this when I am spraying with Rustoleum sprays, and I wasn't, but I will be now. I don't know what was going on with this piece, but I guess I missed some areas with the Kiltz spray that was spitting out horribly, so I had to run out. I think this was the next day because I couldn't go that day. Ran out and got some more spray and covered it all up. Then I sanded it really smooth again, and it was time to get that paint on, which I was extremely happy about. This is Country Chic Paint in Soiree. No, it is not Soiree. It is called Sunday Tea. Oh my goodness. Anyway, it's a beautiful, beautiful color, and I used my sprayer again to get this paint on under the legs and all the drawers, sides, and top. But it was all very smooth because I sanded in between every single coat. So I like to use 400 grit sandpaper between primer coats, 600 grit sandpaper between paint coats, and then about 1,000 or 2,000 grit sanding pads on top coats. So this is glass bead gel, and I mixed it with a bit of paint and a little bit of Redesign with Prima vintage lace paste. It's like a paint paste. It's thicker. So I wanted a stencil on the side, but I wanted it to be very subtle. I didn't want something standing out because this was an MCM sort of modern piece and it didn't suit anything else. But I did want a subtle stencil, and I thought these dandelions were super cute and they matched perfectly. So I used glass bead gel, which gives a bit of texture and a different look. And it was my first time using this. So I taped the stencil to the piece, and then I proceeded to use my chip brush, which is a smaller one, to add the paint onto the stencil, as you can see right here. So it's quite thick, which is what I wanted, and mixed quite a bit of glass bead gel into it. And this is what I did. So you can see the stencil there on the side. That's how subtle it is, and that's exactly what I wanted. I think it turned out really pretty. Now, I don't want the drawers, like in all my raw wood pieces, I don't want them orange. So I went over it with Country Chic Paint Soiree paint and sprayed my water bottle onto the wood and sprayed my paintbrush with water, and then brushed the paint on, then sprayed again. So lots of water because it's basically a paint wash. And then I went over it with the rag just to wash it, sort of wipe off the excess, and it looks like this. And now it's time to top coat. So I am using Country Chic Paint in Clear Coat. So here's a look at the side as I spray the top coat on. I'm really happy with how that stencil turned out. It does look like it's disappearing with the top coat, but it's not. It's just because it's wet. But you can see the tiny little glass bead gel, like the balls. You can see them on the side there. Here's a closer look. So here it is. It looks so beautiful. I'm really happy with how it turned out. I did end up lining the drawers just to give it that extra touch. And there's the sides. It's hard to tell in this light because it's quite bright, but you can see a little bit of it there. It's just something extra and special, and I really like how this looks. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and if you'd like to support my channel, I have a Buy Me a Coffee link in my description along with my Amazon wish list. And I have a new video out next Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern, and this next piece is actually 4 pieces, and it's a custom job, and I cannot wait to show you. So thanks again, everybody, and have a wonderful day.